My final attempt was getting a job at this telemarketing agency. The pay is decent, and it's a good way to level up your bribery stat. But I nearly shit myself to death on the first day. That was the final straw. I hereby reject society and—
What kind of anxiety do you have to literally... What in the world? Reggie, do you just sound like people? Are you okay? What do you mean you went to a decent paying job and you chat yourself to death? In this past year, I have learned of Finland's existence as well as some fun factoids about Finland more times than I ever thought I would. Some weird phenomena of Finland and games. Which leads me to today's video. Reggie has a problem. He lets the rats take over his life. And now he's flooding Finland in Obanser. Obanser is a survival RPG where you're a property manager in a quarantine district. To his credit, you probably really only need 10,000 rats to ruin this place. But I can't help but feel bad. So before we're infested with rodents, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And let's get into it.
It's 6:30 a.m. I wake up to find the police beat me in my sleep again. My name is Reginald Meatwagon. I live in Tenement B, and I believe in a balanced lifestyle. In the mornings, if I'm not hallucinating, I make sure to inhale deeply from a bag of unidentified mushrooms before going upstairs to deposit several live rats in my neighbor's apartment. They do not like this. After that, I rush to my job at the telemarketing agency, doing my best to avoid eye contact with the local homeless. Before starting my shift, I make sure to consume an entire bottle of windshield wash. This prevents me from dying of alcoholic withdrawals on the job. I spend my lunch break in the courtyard, drinking cooking oil from a—
What kind of relationship does windshield wiper fluid and alcohol have? Wait, I need to know. Huh? Surely that's not an actual thing. Like, is that a chemical thing? I don't want to think about that. You know, for my ease of mind, Reggie made that up. Yeah, it's all made up. People don't do that. Nobody's ever done that before, right? You're not supposed to drink that stuff, I don't think. Can you though? Will you survive if you drink windshield wiper fluid? Because if you can, well, maybe a little lick doesn't hurt.
Alcoholic withdrawals on the job. I spend my lunch break in the courtyard, drinking cooking oil from a 10-liter drum while trying not to overdose on antidepressants. After finishing work, I invest my entire paycheck in rotten vegetables and alcohol, drinking somewhere between 12 to 15 bottles back at my apartment before realizing I desperately need to use the washroom. However, no one in my building has plumbing, so I die from shit seizures in my neighbor's living room. This is Obanser, an urban survival game set in the harshest environment of all, Finland. An outbreak of deadly fungus has left us quarantined here. Unfortunately, for our troubles, we are given ownership of a derelict apartment building with few tenants. Our goal? Go from being a horrible landlord to a more profitable horrible landlord. Can we rent out every room in the building, or will we die in the process? There's only one way to know. But first, a word from our sponsor. The Matchless Kung Fu is a unique Chinese martial arts game now available on Steam. This game blends the comboing of traditional fighting games with turn-based combat, while offering you a procedurally generated world to explore, build in, and ultimately conquer. I played it for the first time last week, and it was transcendental. I created a character, Jackie Xinyang, a physically confusing martial artist on a quest to bring honor to her father, unknown, and her mother, also unknown. To do this, I trained tirelessly and honed my skills on the local street urchins until eventually I developed the ultimate weapon, Groin Kick. It deals 18 damage and has a chance to neuter my enemies. Using this, I became an unstoppable Kung Fu master. Absolutely no one was safe from the heel of my foot, not even wild animals or random patches of farmland. But pride cometh before the fall. And eventually, I encountered a monster which I couldn't castrate, that is, another woman. After engaging in a brief verbal duel, she punched me in the head like 20 times and killed me. So to conclude, I highly recommend you check out this game using my link in the comments for 20% off until November 19th. Thank you, Matchless Kung Fu. Now back to the video. The game begins with us in a state-of-the-art immigration office. Our interviewers ask us a few questions. I describe us as filthy poor, gay, and alcoholic. Application accepted. Following this, we receive a care package, which upon further inspection is just...
See, he worded it as if he's not that IRL. What he means is, this is what he is, but he'll tell you that he's just role-playing as it. He's just a sad, alcoholic, gay man. I love you, Reggie. You're great. I'm so sorry.
Patient accepted. Following this, we receive a care package, which upon further inspection is just 3 cigarettes, 2 cans of beer, and a live rat. With that, we are now a proud citizen of Finland. I take a few minutes to familiarize myself with the locals. Finland. First, there's Dr. Penna, hopefully no relation. Then there's the manager of the Omar and her 1,000-yard stare. Personally, I like her because she sells these porno mags. I think I'm turned on. The last person I talked to was Para. He is always on this bench, always drunk, and always covered in his own feces. You know what? I think we're going to fit in just fine. Now, our main goal is to rent out all 12 of our apartments. So let's go check out the building. There it is, a monolith of asbestos majestically beckoning us from behind a barbed wire fence. I paid the $10 fee to cross the bridge and head over to inspect it. After spending a few minutes surveying the tenement, I come to the following conclusion. This place is a shithole. There's obscure graffiti all over the walls, toxic mushrooms in almost every unit, and I'm pretty sure our only tenant is actively plotting my murder. First things first, we're going to need some cleaning supplies. I recommend...
Okay, I already have a question. I already have a question. I know he just said he's going to get cleaning supplies. That's a good sign. It also helps with my question. Can you actually like make that place super pretty and livable? I know that's not what Reggie's going to do, but I need to know because this looks like a really nice, like fun game to just have and play on the side, like low key. I like the graphics. I love these kinds of graphics. The old, like, clunky look, the gritty. I love the gritty. It's so good. Give it to me. I find that I'm slowly... I like the realism in modern games. It's nice to see, like, flowing hair and muscles. But I still find beauty in the nitty-gritty. You know what I mean? So I like them both. You could say I'm a connoisseur.
Is actively plotting my murder. Creepy, first things first, we're going to need some cleaning supplies. I recommend heading into town and stealing them because you can. For example, I snuck into the bathroom at this hostel and stole all of their hand soap. This is important because we don't have access to showers yet. So our only method of maintaining hygiene is lathering ourselves in hand sanitizer. Back at the apartment, I assess the situation and realize this is going to take forever. There's garbage everywhere. I have to dispose of a dead body. The doors are all boarded up and I'm probably going to need bleach for the... All done. Fantastic. The next step is renovating these units and renting them out. But first, fuck the toll bridge. All my homies hate the toll bridge. Every time we want to go to our tenement, we have to pay $10 to cross this stupid little bridge. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but the difference between us and Para is about $25. So we need a solution, and I've got one. We're gonna make our own bridge. By using a Looney Tunes understanding of engineering, I was able to construct a completely cost-free alternative. And it's 100% safe, unless you fall off and die instantly. Now, we can finally talk to Samuel the contractor about renovating our apartments. He explains 3 things to us. Upgrades are going to be expensive, require a lot of materials, and most importantly, he doesn't care how we acquire them, which is great because I am currently stealing everything he owns. Maybe next time, don't write the combination to your safe on the bathroom mirror. Between robbing Samuel and...
Oh my god. What? How do you run a business and then follow with, I don't really care where the items come from, I'll just do the job. And then also write your code to the safe on a mirror. Even I have a better place to put my passwords. And that says a lot. Cause I'm pretty willy-nilly with them, okay? I get a little silly. So I'm just saying, you can't run a business like that. No wonder he's stuck in limbo. He's losing more money than he can remember.
Maybe next time, don't write the combination to your safe on the bathroom mirror. Between robbing Samuel and selling him random garbage, we made a good amount of money. But much like Ubisoft, I don't have any more trash to sell. So we need to secure a more sustainable source of income. My job hunt went a little like this. Recycling. Run around town diving headfirst into dumpsters looking for empty bottles. There are a lot of beer bottles at the doctor's office. Take them to the recycling machine. The pay is not good. Next job, the Bard. Accidentally break into this apartment, sledgehammer through a brick wall, and find a free guitar. Very nice. Walk around town playing it while getting insulted terribly.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little...
2 hours of work for $35? No thank you. Agriculture. Go to the Kurihara farm where you'll meet Jump. He'll give you free seeds, plant them, and wait. Keep waiting.
And
Just us and Jump. Us, Jump.
Kill him.
I'm not going to lie, Jomp makes me kind of uncomfortable, so I don't spend a lot of time farming. My final attempt was getting a job at this telemarketing agency. The pay is decent, and it's a good way to level up your bribery stat, but I nearly shit myself to death on the first day. That was the final straw. I hereby reject society and—
What kind of anxiety do you have to literally... What in the world? Reggie, do you just have, like, people? Are you okay? What do you mean you went to a decent paying job and you chat yourself to death? I don't know if those antidepressants are working. I don't think they are. They're probably not. You need help. Why? What happened to you?
Self to death on the first day. That was the final straw. I hereby reject society and its cruel games. When it comes to making money, there's only two things I really believe in: illegal alcohol and rat farms. Let's start with the rats. I head over to Mobleman's furniture store, where I purchase several animal cages. Since I'm here, I also decide to steal a bunch of his stuff.
Soon you'll get to explain to the police. We don't care.
Shit. I set the cages up back at the base, and they look great. Now we just need some rats. Fortunately, these crazy Europeans thought of everything. Arriving at the rat vending machine, I pick up 3 of their finest rodents and deposit them in our cages. Now we wait. Within a few days, we'll have a virtually endless supply of rats, which I can cook and process into sausages to feed the townspeople. Next, let's start up our moonshining operation. We got a tip that there's a speakeasy bar in the underground tunnels, and after making my way inside, I am introduced to several average Europeans, one of which is Penty Pentilla, the bar owner. He buys his liquor from a guy named Max Masher. Apparently, he got the nickname because someone mashed his brain with a hammer. I simply cannot wait to meet this man. Anyway, Penty wants us to go to Max and pick up his next shipment. So we head over to Max's apartment and engage in a very esoteric conversation that mostly consists of me threatening him. Eventually, I get frustrated and kick down the door, knocking out Max in the process. If he didn't have brain damage before, he definitely does now. He's pretty angry, but I managed to gaslight him into believing that his door is not only sentient, but also trying to kill him.
Yep. Evil
Max
door.
forgives us, and we give the door a stern talking to on his behalf.
Door.
Anyway, with Max indisposed, we can take his supplies and become the only moonshiner.
That's such a beautiful interaction. You've successfully gaslit an already unstable man into believing his own door hates him, and now you're gonna walk away and leave him alone with the door. So either he's deathly terrified of it, or he's gonna rip it off the hinges and burn it, or destroy it in some way, shape, or form. This poor man. That hammer did him dirty.
On his behalf. Anyway, with Max indisposed, we can take his supplies and become the only moonshiner in town. I set everything up back at the base.
True.
It's not much, but it's a good start. A 100-liter mashing drum, a fermentation container, a distillery, and 2 or 3 barrels to store various liquids.
That's a lot of
now we
barrels.
just need ingredients. I went over to the O-Mart and purchased about 100 turnips, several plastic buckets, and their entire selection of yeast, while trying my best to look inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Back at the base, we get started on our first batch of turnip wine. First, we make the mash. Then, we ferment it into wine. And finally, distill it into moonshine. It's all quite simple. However, turnip mash looks very similar to diesel fuel. And I highly recommend not confusing them. Anyway, the brewing process and rat sex colony take several days to yield any results. So in the meantime, I decided to pick up a new hobby, stealing everything that isn't nailed to the ground. Now, you might look at a feral gopnik and think to yourself, man, this stealing thing seems pretty simple, but you're wrong. It's actually a highly complex performance art where every action has a specific meaning. I break into your apartment with a sledgehammer to critique the oligarchy. I steal your family's entire food supply as a nuanced commentary on the Middle East. And most importantly, I leave several logs of my own shit on your bed and in your freezer. Even I don't know the meaning of that one.
No,
that was
you don't.
most.
That's insanity. You have mental problems when you do that. So don't do that. What's wrong with you? With all of these, Reggie becomes a very disgusting man in games where the game is being disgusting, but he somehow tops. Somehow, I don't know how, but he does. It's just, in a world full of filth, Reggie is the final boss.
On your bed and in your freezer.
Really
Even I don't know the meaning of that one.
like
That was
child.
mostly bullshit. The theft is pretty easy, as long as you can avoid the bear traps and shotgun tripwires. The most difficult part is selling the stolen items.
Smart.
I did meet a guy named Passmore who will buy some stolen goods. Reggie, that's a door. Yes, I know. Passmore is behind it.
It's
We
through
keep
the
him
door.
contained for public safety
Passmore
because
through
he's
the
Polish,
door.
which means he will buy dirty syringes, jewelry, and prescription medication. But for everything else, we have to get creative. That's why I've decided to open a furniture store. Here, I can take stolen items and dismantle them for parts, which I then use to construct brand new and totally legal furniture. For example, good luck identifying your family heirloom after I melt it down into a steel bar, convert the steel into a handful of nails, and use them to build 12 different wooden tables, which I then sell to a known criminal for a currency that isn't even real. This is what it means to become ungovernable. After a few hours of this, we were turning a pretty nice profit. The global table population was reaching critical levels, our moonshine was finally flowing, and the rats were not really doing much. So I decided to place a meat grinder on top of their cage as an incentive. Then I took our money and finally started upgrading our apartments. Using hundreds of dollars and stolen building material, I was able to afford level 1 walls. Not great, but it's a start. Now we just need to find a tenant, someone desperate enough to live in a condemned apartment with no electricity, no heating, no plumbing, several decomposing bodies, and a rat sex farm on the first floor.
I'm curious. I really do want to see the hotel look very pretty. I feel like that would be a nice change of pace, especially for this game. I do. I would like to see that. I was also very curious if Reggie was going to use the furniture for, I don't know, maybe his own tenants? I was wrong. He sold them. I would just use it for the tenants so that I could attract more people, get full house. Yeah.
No plumbing, several decomposing bodies, and a rat sex farm on the first floor.
Well, you gotta clean it.
I know a guy.
Oh, yeah! That is a guy.
Here is our first tenant, and he doesn't really pay much rent, but
No.
it's enough to support my addiction to hallucinogenic cigarettes, so
It
I'm
is.
satisfied. After that, the upgrades just kept coming. We unlocked the basement, took a swim in a pool full of urine, built some stairs to the 4th floor, fell off and died, came back, sold a bunch of trash, and successfully rented out another apartment. Hey, welcome to the building. I'm going to store about 90 liters of illegal moonshine in your sink now. Thanks for being a good sport.
Don't drink
you could
it.
say things were going well, a little too well. In fact, I've been so preoccupied being an excellent landlord that I haven't been able to properly maintain my alcoholic lifestyle. And now my addiction is gone, which has caused my character to sink into a deep depression. I miss the old Reggie, the drinks methanol and dies Reggie. I could just go to the doctor and get a prescription for some antidepressants, but I don't believe in the healthcare system. I believe in personal responsibility. What's that, kid? You don't want to die from this appendicitis? Good. Here's a knife and a nominal amount of morphine. Do it yourself. It's in that spirit that I refuse to help of Dr. Penna. I don't need your prescription. I'll just rob the pharmacy myself. I talk to Passmore, who sells me a key card to the pharmacy in exchange for Chinese wristwatches. Arriving there, I see that the cashier's eyes are locked on me. So I distract him with my pocket rats before sneaking behind him and scanning into the drug storage room. The final guard was a woman, but I've been avoiding women my entire life, so that was no problem. After some searching, I hit the jackpot. 18 bottles of prescription medication. I take all of it, making sure to replenish the shelves so they don't notice anything missing. Then I execute my escape and dedicate the rest of my afternoon to seeing how many painkillers I can eat before I pass out. The answer is all of them. In fact, they just keep making me stronger. And with 9,000 milligrams per liter of oxycodone pumping through my veins, I am functionally unstoppable. Oh, never mind, I'm sleepy. I drift into unconsciousnness that night thinking about the heist, the perfect robbery, how I was...
That was just really cute. Oh, never mind. I'm sleepy. That was like unexpectedly just a cute line. I'm sleepy. What do you mean? This is the consequence of your actions. You took a ridiculous amount of pills. You're going to be sleepy. This is a guarantee. I feel like that's the normal side effect for literally almost every single medication. Drowsiness. Because guess what? It's a drug. It's a drug. Why didn't you think it was gonna work? You can do so much in this game. You didn't think that they would make you sleepy? It didn't occur to you?
I drifted into unconsciousness that night thinking about the heist, the perfect robbery, how I was simply too smart for the police. And then I wake up in prison. Well, shit. We're stuck here for 2 days with nothing to keep us company but moldy food, a rat, and a Game Boy Color. You can try talking to the guard, but he'll kill you. So I did the only reasonable thing. I went absolutely insane.
Play on my Game Boy.
Thank God that's over. Let's talk to the guard and get our stuff back. Oh hey, a free piece of paper. What? You've got to be shitting me. Well, the prison industrial complex got us again.
You're not allowed to take their paper.
Okay, we're free for real this time, and I'm going to turn over a new leaf, because we're going to start robbing the city even harder. You see, apart from eating mold and talking to a man living in my walls, there's not a lot to do in prison, so I spent my time plotting a heist. Here in Finland, there are two currencies, OC and RM. OC is a hideously inflated fake money, exchanged primarily by the homeless. Think of it like the Canadian dollar. Meanwhile, RM is real money that's worth about 10 times more and buys some very nice things. To convert your currencies, you have to go to this door where a guy on the other side will exchange them for you. We are going to rob and possibly kill this man. Fresh out of jail, I buy several lockpicks, make my way up to the currency exchange, and get to work, popping the door open and almost going inside. It's hard to see, but that is a fucking shotgun waiting to blow my head off. I disable the tripwire and make my way into the office. The manager has a less than positive opinion of me, and my crime rating is skyrocketing. I keep going, grabbing several golden urns.
I didn't know there was a rating system. Reggie, how dare you leave me in the dark about this? I'm over here like, oh yeah, he's committing crime. That's cool. There's crime. The game is aware. So if you're an upstanding like citizen, what is that? I feel like an upstanding citizen is just someone that manages to take a shower. There has to be a benefit to being crime-free, aside from people not liking you. Or, well, people liking you. Because if the only downside is, oh man, people just won't trust you, then it's really not a downside. That's just life. That's literally just life.
Opinion of me, and my crime rating is skyrocketing. I keep going, grabbing several golden urns and stealing no less than 50 bottles of his luxury alcohol. After cracking the safe, I make my escape, and it takes about 10 seconds before a police officer starts chasing me down the street. I am briefly stun-locked by how ridiculous his run animation is, but regardless, I managed to evade him for 3 minutes before he eventually cornered me on a rooftop and sent us back to jail. Don't worry, this is all part of the plan. Oh no, officer, you really caught me. What's it gonna be this time? 96 hours? Wow, I exclaim, as I slowly crawl under my bed and retrieve a lockpick. I think I'm finally learning the error of my ways, as I jimmy off the ventilation cover and crawl into an abandoned mine shaft. as I find an exit that connects to the sewer system and eventually to the surface, exiting Decula B and going to the nearest dumpster where I stashed my backpack full of stolen goods before the chase. Selling this stuff to pass more will easily net us tens of thousands. Rehabilitation was never an option. So the plan went off without a hitch. We got all the stolen goods, and the only punishment I incurred was spending 10 minutes wading through sewage. However, I feel a philosophical opposition to the police, and I need to stop them once and for all. So I went over to the building supply store and bought 40 bags of cement and gravel, which I then used to gradually encase the local police officer. Try as he may, he is absolutely incapable of arresting us now. Now it's time to sell this stuff and put our money to work.
Rip.
After all that, I managed to entice 4 new tenants into the building, meaning we're halfway done. However, we're completely broke again. Time to do some quests for money. This girl is worried about her neighbor. Don't worry, ma'am, I'll check on her. Oh,
she's dead.
Shit. Well, maybe her husband is okay. Alright, better report this one to the police. Their response? Yeah, that happens sometimes. Hey, your neighbor's dead and no one cares. Now give me the cash. After that, I got a job doing unethical medical research on technically dead bodies. Actually, I think that one might have been alive. The doctor pays you generously for your silence and gives you a free vial of red chemical.
See, that was a definitely a live person, because otherwise that amount of money wouldn't have been as significant. That was a live person. That is hush money. You're not allowed to talk about what you did. Nope. That looks like hush money, smells like hush money, is most definitely hush money. I would be iffy about that one.
Been alive. The doctor pays you generously for your silence and gives you a free vial of red chemicals with clear instructions not to drink it. I recommend drinking it anyway. You know what? This isn't too bad. Next quest. A local furry wants us to go find his blue duck. Another local furry wants us to kill the blue duck and warns us it will corrupt our mind. That's bullshit, as I pick up the duck and instantly regret it.
What?
Heading back to the first guy, he offers us a lot of money and even lets us keep the duck. We physically cannot drop the duck. We are now addicted to ducks. And if we don't have enough in our inventory, we will sink into a bottomless depression and become suicidal. I think that's enough questing for now. By this point, things were good. Questing was fairly lucrative, and I'm making so much moonshine that I ran out of bottles, so I'm now selling it by the bucket. But I have a capitalist mindset, which means that as long as other humans exist,
Wait, well, I don't know why I paused. Apologies. Anyway, it didn't pause. Sorry. Reggie has become an actual psycho. He needs his rubber ducky, otherwise he goes suicidal. He's drinking red substances from some weird doctor testing on live humans with shrooms and weird radioactive stuff. He's breeding 10,000 rats to make meat out of them. He genuinely sounds like a psychopath. Like, all of that without context, someone would actually call the cops. Because what do you mean? You're emotionally attached to a rubber ducky selling rat meat as sausages, and that's... Yeah. Reggie, why? What has this game done to you?
And become suicidal. I think that's enough questing for now. By this point, things were good. Questing was fairly lucrative, and I'm making so much moonshine that I ran out of bottles, so I'm now selling it by the bucket. But I have a capitalist mindset, which means that as long as other humans exist, I could be taking more of their money. I have a dream of Finland, one where I distribute so much pure ethanol that I literally solve homelessness overnight. A dream where every house has a 1,000-liter tank of my fecal killdew, and where every baby is born resembling Tyler 1. Most importantly, a dream where I make a lot of money. To achieve this, we're going to need to expand our operation. Fortunately, I've just upgraded the basement, and it has plenty of space. However, all the new equipment is going to be expensive. Luckily, I have a solution. Think about the world. What is physically stopping you from going to your neighbor's house and restraining them with high-quality PVC tape so that you can levitate in the air while reciting the entire King James Bible from memory before detonating a suicide vest? The answer is the police. These troublemakers have been getting in our way for centuries, but in my world, they are firmly contained within $700 of gravel, which means there has never been a better time to rob the bank. I speak with Passmore about the idea, and we formulate a plan. While I was escaping prison earlier, I came across a tunnel that seems to lead to the bank. Unfortunately, it's blocked. This is where Passmore comes in. He's going to have one of his guys go undercover as a bank teller, remove the blockage, and then we wait until nightfall, and we're in. So that's the plan. Passmore tells me to go to the tunnel at 11 p.m., but my clock is in military time, and I think I've inhaled too much ethanol, so I show up 4 hours too early. Eventually, the blockage is cleared, and I make my way up the ladder, accessing the bank from a nearby crawl space. I sneak past the cameras and infiltrate the office, making sure to steal everything I can before disabling the security system. Now it's time to get serious. I head downstairs to the vault. It's locked, until I jam a stick of dynamite in it and blow it off its hinges. Time is of the essence, so I grab what I can from the safety deposit boxes and make my escape.
I share the news with Passmore and give him everything I looted. In exchange, he casually gives me 120,000 credits. Holy shit. I use this money to finish encapsulating the police force and purchase the rest of my brewing equipment, which means we're now pumping out 100 liters of moonshine every few days. Forget what those historians say. This was the real Renaissance period, and it went a little like this. Wake up in the middle of the night. It's time to experiment. Take a generous dose of stolen medication to facilitate creativity. Once you're hallucinating, keep going. Good. Now stumble your way into the basement and let the olanzapine guide your hand. Turnip wine is passé. All my real homies are brewing fecal killdew and dying of sepsis. But that's not enough. I commune with God by eating cordyceps fungus, which produces a divine revelation. Instead of using yeast to produce alcohol, we can and will use toxic mushrooms for a fraction of the price. Trust me, it's safe. I'll even drink some myself. Yes, my feces is now glowing, but you cannot prove the two are related. Now quick, while you're still drunk, start working on this industrial machinery. Take people's family heirlooms, melt them down, superheat them, and smash it with a hammer. Put it in this industrial lathe and try not to end up on Live Leak. You've now got
You know what? I know he's like explaining this whole thing, but I'm in awe at all the things you can do in this game. Genuinely, if you spend enough time playing, you definitely look at, I don't know, a trophy and you're like, ooh, I could make a lot of nails out of that, or bolts or screws or another plate or a knife or a sword or a weapon or a key or anything. You can make anything out of anything, right? So that's a good mindset to have for this game specifically, maybe not real life, but for this game, that is a nice mindset to develop. I don't know if I would be able to. It would take a couple hours for me to get used to it because, again, I don't typically resort to theft. I don't typically do that unless I'm feeling spiteful. If I'm feeling spiteful in game, I will. I'll do it. Because why not? They don't deserve my money.
Hammer. Put it in this industrial lathe and try not to end up on Live Leak. You've now got mechanical parts that are very valuable, and all you had to do was melt down Grandpa's urn to get them. That was a lot of work, and you're probably tired, but whatever you do, don't sleep. Every hour that you rest is an hour that you're not practicing Capitalism Plus. So instead, I recommend drinking 24 liters of tea and staying awake for 128 hours in a row. This is the upper limit, because after that, your character will start trying to kill himself. Now, take your schizophrenic collection of alcohol and scrap metal to the market and make millions. Time to upgrade the tenement. Nice walls, nicer walls, even nicest walls. Use the outward appearance of a pleasant building to deceive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 innocent people into giving you their money. Spend all of the money to upgrade your own penthouse. Sorry, sir, I can't afford to install plumbing in your apartment as I drop thousands of dollars on pixel art of Jesus Christ. These losers just don't understand what it means to work hard. Sometimes I have to sit on my sofa for an entire 24 hours before passively generating $3,000. I'm practically a slave. But at least I have clean drinking water, a flat screen TV, a 3D printer, and I still get molested in my sleep by my crazy neighbor. That's a personal choice.
He's still there! Oh my god!
So all in all, things were going well. My apartment was awesome, and I had successfully conned 12 people into living in my slums, meaning our vacancy rate is now 0% and the challenge is complete. However, as a wise man once said, it is not enough that I succeed. Others must fail. You see, there's several other apartment buildings in the city, and I consider it a grave personal insult that people are choosing to live there rather than grovel at my feet for a chance to be incorporated into my magnum opus. So we're going to strike back. Remember that rat farm we started earlier? Well, it got a little out of hand. So much so that I had to build an entire fallout shelter just to contain it.
These rats laugh in the face of Malthusian population theory because I haven't fed them for weeks and they just keep fucking.
In fact, they're reproducing faster than I can kill them, and every single container in the entire building is now stuffed to the brim with hundreds of live rats. It's a bit of a catastrophe, but in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Because now I'm going to release 10,000 live rats into every store, public park, and apartment in the city as a way of striking down my enemies while glorifying my own creation. I armed myself with a refrigerated backpack full of rodents and set out into the town square. Cry havoc, and let's slip the rats of war.
That's terrible! Everybody gets a rat. You get a rat. You get a rat. Everyone gets a rat. Don't you love rats? Isn't this what you wanted? Yes. Oh my god. He'll never have any competition after this. Nope. The rats! The rats! They're in the walls! That's beautiful. It's everywhere. Please sanitize.
Well, there you have it. Every square inch of Obanser has been overtaken by the rats. And the only bastion, the only chance of survival is my apartment building. I think this calls for a celebration. Now the question is how to celebrate such a heroic and monumental victory. And I can think of only one way. Back in my basement, I have a 1,000-liter tank of pure vodka. And to commemorate this occasion, I'm going to drink the entire thing in one sitting. Now I know you're thinking, Reggie, isn't that dangerous? Well, don't worry, because I've also gone to the grocery store and purchased 900 cigarettes to help balance it out. So without further ado, let it begin.
This game has thought of it all. There's a drinking level. There's crime. There's so much. It's such a thick game. I wasn't expecting it. Oh my god. I love you, Reggie. This is beautiful. Yep. Fine potato wine. Keep drinking. Keep drinking. Drink more.
That wasn't enough. Bring out the methanol.
Get more. Oh god, no!
I know the guy that owns this place.
It's like a horror game.
Oh fuck, that's good. Now let's fill up the shower with methanol and take a bath. Oh yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Yep. It was bound to happen. It was the methanol. Not the potato wine. Thank you, Reggie.
From here.
You got copyright struck here.
Matchless Kung Fu.
Thank you.
Matchless Kung Fu. Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
Yeah.
And finally, thank you for watching.
And finally, thank you for watching.
When they tell you you must take it.
Oh my god. That is the best ending to a video ever. Thank you for tuning in to another Neko Reacts. Have you played a game like Obanser that just kind of drove you insane to do all the wrong things for the right benefit? Or have you done exactly this or something similar in Obanser? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, please leave a like and subscribe to the universe. Oh, and don't forget, use code SYD for 10% off gamer subs. And I'll see you in the next one. Matane!